Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the September 18th, 2013 regular meeting of the Daytona Beach Community Redevelopment Agency. We're happy to have you with us this evening. This time, Mrs. Thomas will review the procedures for tonight's meeting.
Good evening. Agendas are available in the front of the room on the table to my right. All of the exhibits pertaining to items on the agenda are posted on the bulletin board here in the chambers. Please feel free to view them at any time during tonight's meeting. You are required to fill out a blue form. My assistant, Ms. LaMagna, is holding the form up. You must complete the sections that ask for your name, address, topic of concern, agenda item number, signature, and date. The form must be completed and placed in the designated box prior to the item coming before the Community Redevelopment Agency. Item number 6 is your opportunity to address the City Commission concerning any item on tonight's agenda that is not scheduled as a public hearing, or you may address the City Commission on any issue that is not on the agenda. Resolutions under administrative item number 7 are open for public comments, and you may fill out a blue form to speak before the Commission, before the CRA. All citizens completing a blue form will be allowed to speak for 2 minutes. When you approach the lectern, please speak clearly into the microphone and give your full name and address. The 2-minute clock will begin. You will be told when your time has expired. All conversation must take place either at the lectern or on the dais so that everyone can hear the business that's being discussed tonight. Thank you. Roll call.
Yes,
Commissioner Gilliland.
Here.
Commissioner Henry.
Here.
Commissioner Reed. Commissioner Lentz.
Here.
Commissioner Woods.
Here.
Commissioner White.
Here.
Mayor Derek Henry.
Here.
Motion to excuse Commissioner Reed.
Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Likes not opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
We will skip our invocation, our Pledge of Allegiance, and move on to our approval of our minutes of the August 21st special meeting of the Community Redevelopment Agency.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Gilliland, second by Commissioner Lentz. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Likes not opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Moving on to our agenda approval, there are no changes, Mr. Mayor.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Likes not opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Moving on to our item number 6A, it is public comments by people addressing the Community Redevelopment Agency. I do have one speaker, that is John Nicholson.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. On my morning walk, when I walked down the boardwalk, another sprinkler broke, and you get this black stream of garbage, of sand and dirt that go across the boardwalk. And it takes like about a week to 2 weeks for the staff to notice it and to repair it. Sometimes it takes up to 3 months to get a sprinkler repaired. There are about maybe 5 sprinklers broken over on the beachside, on A1A, on the boardwalk, on Breakers Park. We have to do better at this. But these things break, and the tourists walk through this trash. I know I was taking a county councilman down the boardwalk, showing him all the problems that I perceived to be a hassle with the tourist industry. And he asked me, he said, what's all this dirt doing on the boardwalk? And I had to explain to him, it's the sprinkler, and if they don't repair it, it just gets more and more and more dirt. So I'm asking you to pay a little bit more attention. We do make a great deal of money from Ocean Walk shops and from the Hilton. We do make money off the tourists that come into town. I'm asking that we be more cognizant of the fact that they have to live and work through this for a week or more at a time. The beachside doesn't take a lot of minor things. The major thing is salt intrusion and repair. The gazebo in front of the Hilton, I'm asking you to redesign that gazebo. The kids love to stand on those little outcroppings, and they break off. One, it's a insurance hazard. If they get hurt, we get sued. Secondly, it looks terrible, and then when we repair it, we put a different color brick back. So I'm asking to go through the boardwalk. We may need to redesign it. It's been 20 years, so maybe new plantings, maybe things that worked years ago are not working now. we are hoping to make money off the tourists, the Russians and the Canadians for Hard Rock. They deserve a quality. Thank you.
That is our only speaker, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Moving on to our administrative items. Item 7A is the Blue Road Redevelopment Area Marina District Grant Agreement and Acceptance of Grant Funds Resolution. A resolution authorizing acceptance of grant funds in the amount of $12,500 from the State of Florida Department of Economic Opportunity for Marina District Planning in the Blue Road Redevelopment Area. Authorizing the city manager and the city clerk to execute the funding and program agreement and providing an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions from the commission? Or
I just want to make a comment. I think we all got an email from Chris Don from Uptown, and they have part of the vision plan, and they've made some suggestions. I know this doesn't encompass that whole area, but I would just ask that maybe the consultant be aware of that, that's out there as well as the other plans.
I forwarded it to you.
I got
You
it,
got it?
so I'll certainly do
Okay.
yeah, and thank you for pointing that out. I think it's reasonable to just make them aware of it. It's
Yeah, I think so, too.
His other request. Okay. We have a motion and a second. We have any
No
no
speakers.
Okay. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Likes not opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Moving on to item 7B, it is the 2013-2014 budget for the Community Redevelopment Agency, CRA, resolution. A resolution adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1st, 2013 to September 30th, 2014 for the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Daytona Beach, prescribing the sources of revenue in an estimated amount of $4,676,052, setting forth operating expenditures, capital expenditures, and transfers in an estimated amount of $4,676,052, and providing when this resolution shall take effect.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Gilliland, second by Commissioner White. We have speakers to
I
this
do
item.
have one speaker, Mr. Mayor. That is John Nicholson.
Do we need to read in the record where the cuts were?
Yeah, don't we have to, we'll have to change that. Do we have to amend the motion?
Well, the
You're
amount is
approving
right.
the gross amount,
Amount will change.
not the net,
Okay,
and we can make the adjustments.
all right.
Okay.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. For years, I've been saying that the Main Street CRA is the cash cow for the other CRAs in the city. I've given you two sheets from 2013, 2014. I have 2012. This is the only information given to the Main Street Board about their finances. And every year they get a little bit more and a little bit more. But if you look at what you've been presented, 2014, you see the amount of money that's coming to support the CRA office, and Main Street is required to pay 57% of all the salaries of the CRA office. In the other 2013, those are the salaries of the employees, the breakdown of who pays what CRA pays. Reed's salary is 55% comes out of Main Street. 24% of Jason's, 50% of Jeannie's, 49% of Janet, that's the secretary in the front. 37% of the city attorney's fees come out of Main Street, and 48% of the finance fees come out of Main Street. In this present budget, Midtown has $256,000. They owe $216, they're left with $40. They separate that into 27 and 13, $27,000 for salaries. One salary out of Midtown is $88,000 for Charles. The average, if everybody pays their fair share, for the office is $61,000, $65,000. There's no way Midtown at $27,000 is going to pay $88,000 or $65,000. The same thing with downtown. They have $100,000. They have $195,000. $100,000 is for their landscaping. The three guys. Jason Jeffrey makes like $95,000. They're left with no money. Where are the office costs coming from? But Main Street, and that's shouldn't happen. Thank you.
That is our only speaker, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a formula we use to determine how salaries are broken down or not?
Sure. There's two things that happen because you have to, at the end of the day, use the actual amount that we work in each CRA. And we fill out timesheets, and that's all accounted for at the end of the year. So the budget's going to look a lot different than where we have to end up sometimes. You know, depends what happens during the year and how much time we're spending. I spend most of my time in the Main Street area. I know that you know the other staff that are there, it's their actual time there, and then there is just administrative time when we're not working for one, like standing up here right now. That's actually divided proportionate to the revenue of each of those redevelopment areas. So that is if you have 90% of the TIF is coming to Main Street, Main Street's going to pay 90% of the administrative costs. That's the proportion. That's how it works. That's how it's assigned.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. We have any other comment? No other readers. Motion and second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Likes not opposed, same sign. A motion carries 6-0.
Moving on to item 8, it is the comments and inquiries by the Community Redevelopment Agency, City Manager, and City Attorney.
I have no comments tonight.
Yes, sir.
I got a quick comment. I want to go on record as saying with the water department, with the water bills going up, I just want to go on record as saying we need to have somebody who can be in a position to help people get through this, adjusting to this higher water bill. Not saying that we try to pay their water bills, but just try to help them understand the higher water bill and kind of troubleshoot and put out fires.
We're working on that very issue.
Okay.
Nothing from me.
I want to talk about one thing. I agree with John about what you see sometimes when you walk down the boardwalk, and I know sometimes it seems a little obsessive or a little crazy, but I do think that we need to have a heightened sense of maintenance in that area because it's kind of our showpiece. And I don't know, I sense a lack of preventative maintenance, and I do see the things that he sees, and I don't know if we have someone on staff that, I mean, John talks about walking down the boardwalk. I run that area a lot. I see I see a lot of this stuff, and you think, it's a broken sprinkler, but it does. We should be able, because we are a tourist destination and this is our bread and butter, to figure out a way to be a little bit more on top of it. And, do we have a staff member that could run or walk down the boardwalk, twice a week and just check? In some areas I visited, they, I think it was in Baltimore and kind of their convention area, and they had a whole company, I don't know if it was public or private, but they were in these little golf carts and they were fixing things. And it was just, there was definitely a concerted effort. And we talk about the E-zone, and there's that checklist, that maintenance kind of checklist that I think was in in what we got. So I know John talks about this a lot, and sometimes it gets old, but there's something there. I think there's a truth there that we just need to be more proactive about that area. So I don't know, Mr. Manager, if you can get us some sort of, I would love to see a checklist. I'd like to see that these things are checked every week. Somebody does a walkthrough. It's just basic property maintenance walkthrough. I just think that there's something that we need to address there. Thank you.
Okay. There are no further comments. Mr. Manager?
No, sir.
Yeah.
I'm through.
Okay. That said, this meeting is adjourned. Have a good night.